Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Vinny.
And I'm not going to lie, I called it. Occidental Petroleum Corporation, Buffett stock that he owns 24%-ish in, just had a major win. This is setting up to be a fantastic hold. We're going to talk about it.
Two Super Guys Trade Stocks.
All right. So Occidental is a oil company based in, well, they're in a couple states, but they have a DAC facility in Texas. All right. Now, we did this
DAC?
video. Was that?
What is DAC?
I'm going to show you. We did this video, I think it was January 8th. And I was saying, hey, this is going to be massive. Also, I mean, Buffett at this point had already bought like 15% of the company. It's not like I discovered it, right? No, this is all Buffett. But what I did do was climate change, regardless on if you believe it or not, this is not a political stance. No matter what, money's going to go to it. Doesn't matter. So our job is to make money off that money, right? Everyone wants more money. So what I did is I looked at Chevron, Exxon, Oxy. I looked at their green initiative of how much money they're actually spending. And it turns out of these massive three companies, Exxon and Chevron weren't actually spending a lot on direct air capture carbon facilities. Oxy was spending a ton and was positioning themselves to get these big grants that we're going to talk about right here. And they are now the winners of these grants and put in a position to have massive, massive gains in the future. Right?
I love the little key point there. 1.2 billion in giant vacuums that suck carbon out of
I didn't read that.
I love it.
I didn't even see it.
Diana Olich has good sense of humor, I see.
Yeah, giant vacuums that suck carbon out of the air in an effort to slow global warming. So basically, Chevron and Exxon, way bigger than Oxy. They talk about it on press conferences, but I had went through their earnings reports, all their financial stuff, and they're not spending any money on this. It was not a thing. It was just a talking point so that they can seem green. Oxy actually was. So after Buffett bought some, I was like, I should look into this. And then I put the Oxy's the next Apple, which I really believe because they're only 50 billion market cap. They're not a lot, right? Their competitors are 8 times bigger. So what are they doing? All right. Oh, here, I should probably go back. So basically, they won a thing from Biden for $1.2 billion, along with another Switzerland company that actually owns the biggest direct air carbon capture plant in the world in Iceland. Essentially, they have these big facilities and it sucks carbon through a giant vacuum out of the air. You can then use that carbon as products. Right? Makes sense?
Okay. Or sequester it into the earth itself, which is, I think, what most of them do. It's something I'd like to be. I'm a little curious about the actual science of it in terms of energy efficiency and how effective it is at removing carbon per watt that they spend as far as.
It's not energy efficient. I have that in here. It is new technology, right? So I will say, when a good example is when our genome was finally synthesized and we had everything, I think the first time it cost around $2 billion to do. And then 10 years later, it was about 8 or 10 grand. That's a substantial decrease in price. So as you have new technology, you find ways to make it cheaper. But basically, there are currently 18 DAC projects globally, but these would be the first ones that are commercial scale between Oxy and the other company in Switzerland. Here's what I just said. So in 2022, the per ton tax credit for direct air capture was moved from 50 to 180. This is what got Buffett's attention. The cost is 125 to 1,000 to remove a ton of carbon.
Okay.
All right. And that, by the way, that's from 4 different sources. None of them could agree. So the 125 to 1,000 is an absurd range.
Yeah.
Everyone was claiming different numbers on different dates. As of right now, Buffett owns about a quarter of the company. Sexy.
And he does have
It's
140 billion in cash, but he has said, I think publicly, that they're not interested in acquiring all of Oxy, which I'm not really sure why.
maybe yet. Maybe they want to see because they have an end game of 70 DAC facilities of varying size by 2035. They're literally buying plots of land all over and they're going to put these facilities up. It's wild that I don't think they're going to achieve this, by the way. That's a disgusting amount. I think that's a little bit crazy, but hey, that's great.
Okay.
It should be noted the current CFO, Robert Patterson, he's now in the essential chemistry department. They hired someone else. It's not all roses. Let me move my face so you can see this volume. So that article was Friday with a big white bar there.
Yeah.
Sexy.
I think
Now,
it's been pretty choppy, pretty lateral for the last year or so. If that.
it has. I will say, if you were to argue against this thesis that Oxy is doing fantastic, here's XLE. Over the last 2 months, they've had a fantastic run. Now, there are some theories that this is going to continue, and if it does, Oxy will benefit both from the climate change, which there's another $2 billion that they want to spend on this. They already got
Next year.
1.2 of it. Yeah, next year
Yeah.
they have another. I think it was 3.5 total through 2025. So the ability to generate cash, the opportunity, it's pretty wild. It's worth my money. I'm in at 200 shares at 58. What are you at?
So I have 100 shares, about 58, but I sold a covered call at 62.50.
Oh, you're
So
screwed.
my shares right now would be called away as of next Friday, I think it is.
Next Friday?
Yeah, the 18th, I think, is the expiration date for those
Oh,
shares.
yeah, you're fucked. Okay.
Then, well, I'll
Don't
just
stick
buy
to
it again, and then or sell a cash secured put again at 58. And if it drops again because it's been in a chop box, I'll buy it back in and then sell it another covered call. I've been wheeling this stock, if you will.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to buy more. I'm happy with my 10 or 11K that I have in it, but it is a pretty exciting opportunity and I still believe a very solid 10-year hold. Unless Buffett sells all of it, then I will leave because he's going to know something I don't. Anything else?
Yeah. No, the big thing I would want to know is from Oxy's kind of quarterly reports, they have them detail a little bit more about what their plan is as far as this direct air capture kind of technology and how many like patents they have involved and what their cost is. Because this is really going to be a technology where it depends on your own individual research and development and how cheaply you can do it for, and whether or not you can firewall that off with patents. I mean, not in the best interest of mankind, but could be much more profitable for Oxy if they have a like patent thicket around their direct capture carbon technology.
So I don't know in terms of proprietary technology because, like I said, the company ClimateWorks in Switzerland already runs the biggest one in Iceland, right? It's fairly huge. In terms of competitors and other financial issues, the fact that you get in 1.2 billion to help you build the facility, I mean, that's pretty massive. It completely cuts into your costs. Like you're kind of set. I don't know how much those cost, but I had read that the commercial one was projected to be around $1 billion. Granted, that was a while ago. I know that's changed. So essentially, good to go.
Yeah, be interested
Yeah.
to learn a little bit more about it.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
That's the next one.